The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
Hi, Pillow Fighters. It's me, Yamini Nambimadom, and I am back with a brand new episode for you guys. If you're new here, welcome. Every week we play a couple of rounds of Fuck, Marry, Kill and Would You Rather based on recent headlines and finish off the episode with some good old-fashioned Truth or Dare. This week I'm joined by two of my good friends and LA-based content creators, writers, and actors, Isaiah Washington and Maria Smal. Together they host the Baroque Girls podcast, so if you like podcasts, go give it a listen wherever you get yours. You can find Isaiah on social media at Zaydante and Maria at Maria_Smal, and I hope you like the episode. If you like Pillow Fight, please give us a little like wherever you're listening. If you're feeling extra generous, leave us a little review. Please subscribe to the show. If you want to see our faces during this episode, which you're going to want to, we had some big reactions, you can check out the visual video version on the Big Comedy Network YouTube channel. So let's dive right in.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
Is yours made of goose?
We got feathers flying everywhere.
Mine's made of goose.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
How are your guys' weekends?
Pretty good. Had a pretty great weekend. It was why my friends came.
Okay, brag.
I had a pretty great weekend. I had just heard about Isaiah's weekend yesterday in a very not professional sounding manner. You know, he's like, pretty good. Had a lovely weekend.
I think I put on a different type of voice because the same thing happened when my friends came and visited, and when they got here, I was like, hey, how you doing? How was the drive down? And they were like, why are you talking like you're a host? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. I just put on whatever voice it is, what feels fitting for the job. This is the best type of podcast, I will say, because like I'm in a blanket and like I'm like in the comfort of my own home. And I'm like, this is beautiful. You know what I mean?
I have all my little like gadgets and gizmos.
Gorgeous.
I have a
gorgeous fidget spinner
jar full of these ones.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm in my domain right now.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Nice.
It's a vibe. Wait, are you in your room or are you in a podcast?
Yeah, this is where I was all weekend because this is where I do my job at my work desk.
Incredible.
And that's all that I did, but that's okay because that's how I pay my bills. Mm-hmm. And it still kind of feels like a fake job because I don't work during the week. So I get to pretend that I'm just like all my friends who don't have jobs. I get to cosplay being unemployed.
Well, I
Monday
just
through
got
Friday.
a job. It's going to be like nights and weekends. So also I'm going to have like daytime.
Right. It's going to feel
Hey.
so normal. Like it's really, truly, I'd like feel just like everyone else. It's so great.
I had my first couple of shifts like in the last week, and I liked everyone that I met so far, so that's good.
Amazing.
Yay.
Amazing. Wow.
I
That's
love,
a win.
like, I work from home now, and I like talk about this all the time more than I should because it's like not very interesting, but I like there's something about like going into a job and having like your little workplace friends that you don't hang out with outside of your real life that is truly such an escape from like every problem that's going on in your life. Like as much as a minimum wage job sucks, like there's something so special about it.
You
like,
abandon your entire like sense of self at the door, and you become like the worker of this job. And there is like that is something capitalism maybe got right.
Yeah. That one thing, and they didn't even mean to do that. That's like a byproduct. They tried to stop. Like when you're like chit-chatting with your coworkers, it's like, oh, like you've had a lot of time to chat, like you could probably be cleaning something. You know, it's like they try to take that away from us. But
and you're not on your phone, you're just like occupied by the time you're like on your feet. Yeah, but if you have a bad coworker situation, it's the worst.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's super fucking rough. Especially because you have to spend so much time there, you know? And it's like, that can kind of become your whole life. And then when that's shitty, it's like, this is like my whole life is fucking terrible. And then going home, it's like it starts to affect like how you feel when you're at home too. And it's like,
well, I feel like Isaiah, you have like
I have very negative work.
You worked at your ex-girlfriend's family business while she was your ex. Like,
I didn't know about this.
You set yourself up. You're like, when you have a bad coworker that you couldn't have avoided.
Yeah, when everybody there fucking sucks and the whole family fucking sucks, it's a really bad thing. No, I did do that though. I did work in my ex's restaurant. Wow, she was my ex. That was an insane thing that I did. I also moved across the country from her and then drove across the country twice. So
the first time I met Isaiah, we were like at a bar for somebody else's birthday, and I'm in another conversation, and like two groups of people down, I hear this thing about like this one of these guys in this group over there like was on Hinge, and no one ever liked him back for like months and years. Like he would always like people, like people, and no one ever liked him back. And I was like, what? Like this guy's here? I gotta see him. Like he's gotta be like a freak, right?
I've got to see this freak. Hinge hates him.
Really normal guy.
That did happen. That literally for 2 years. For 2 years, I got no matches on Tinder. I got no matches on Tinder. I got no matches on like any dating apps. And here's where I knew that it was really fucking crazy was that I like swiped on my friend from high school. Who I knew, and I swiped right on her because just so that we could talk. Like we were
right. You match with people that you know.
Yeah, exactly. And like after a couple of days, I'm like, she didn't match with me back, so I text her, and I'm like, yo, you ain't see me. I was like, yo, you ain't see me on Tinder. She was like, yeah, I can't have you in my matches, dog. I'm like, what? What the fuck am I doing? And I had other friends look through my Tinder, and they were like, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, I don't understand. People literally thought my shit was broken.
Questions. I was like, what were you saying? Like, who were you swiping? Were you only swiping on like the hottest hotties? But no, it seems like you were casting a wide net.
I was swiping on everyone. I was swiping on everyone. Because after 2 weeks of getting no matches, that barrier of like, oh, like I'm just only gonna swipe on people who I actually like disappears. It's just like, I just need fucking someone. I just need fucking someone to tell me that they like me a little bit. I got fucking no one. I got nobody at all for 2 years.
That's really just like so surprising to me.
I don't know why that happened.
Did you have like a setting set that was like accidentally like 70 plus?
Everybody asked. These are the questions everybody asked.
Like,
no,
that's crazy.
I started new accounts. I changed the phone number on these accounts. It wasn't an account problem. I casted a wide fucking net of like 100-mile radius. That wasn't happening. Nothing was. I did small radius. I did large radius. Nothing was fucking clicking. It was.
Do you remember your first match?
No, because
I'm sure it must have been huge for you to have someone finally be like.
Right, big day.
I don't even know if I like got a match until I remember my first match in Los Angeles. Because after the 2 years happened, I eventually deleted it, and I was like, I'm not putting myself through this shit anymore. Okay. So, and the next time I think I got back on it was in Los Angeles, and then I got but then I got Hinge, and then on Hinge I got matches. So I do remember my first match. Yeah, and he was hot.
Now that's juicy for the plot. That's good writing right there.
It was incredible. He was hot. That felt really
just so you
good.
know a little bit about me. Wow, no, I love that. I love that.
That shit felt incredible. So yeah.
Wow.
Fuck. Marry. Kill. Fuck, marry, kill.
So, number 1. In a profile with the New York Times, Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes announced a rebrand. The former fraudster has abandoned her signature low voice and black turtlenecks and has started going by Liz. She's now a devoted mother to a son named William and hosts get-togethers for families at the San Diego Zoo. Number 2. In an interview with W Magazine, Abel Tesfaye announced his plan to kill The Weeknd. The musician recently changed his social handles to reflect his birth name and said that his upcoming album would be his final project as The Weeknd. He didn't give much of a reason for this other than that he's said everything he has to say as The Weeknd. Number 3, in a family tradition of picking names after math formulas, Elon Musk has changed the Twitter corporation name to X Corp. He's also moved its headquarters to Nevada from Delaware as a result of Nevada's more flexible corporate laws. As of now, Twitter itself doesn't have plans to change its name, but Musk has announced plans to launch an X app akin to WeChat with more services than anyone possibly needs, all under one app umbrella. So this is 3 rebrands. Elizabeth Holmes, The Weeknd, and X Corp. Fuck, marry, kill. What would you do?
To me, this kind of seems like an intuitive answer. You know, there's not a lot of thinking here. I am killing Elon's rebrand. I am fucking Abel's rebrand. Not Deadly. Okay. Abel, not The Weeknd. And marrying Liz.
Same. That's crazy.
Marrying Liz.
Same,
I would do the exact same thing.
I'm on the same plane.
It's like, know? I've got to respect, I've got to question, you know, what's a man rebranding for? What's a woman rebranding for?
Right.
And this is more of a question because I don't know what's going on in their heads, but you know, I love the zoo. As problematic as the zoo could be, you know, I've got to respect her choice to prioritize that. Right. You know, taking her kids there.
She's also going to probably go to prison soon, so you're going to have some like time away to reflect.
Right.
And I feel like she'd write some delicious letters.
Delish.
Damn, wait, she already served jail time for the Theranos shit?
They had a whole show about it, so
I don't
know. Like, it's weird timing. I feel like that stuff should happen after the bad stuff.
She had the baby. It's just all of this was like happening and like she was getting like uncovered and she was like, fuck, I need to have a kid. Like it's real. I'm running out of time. So then she had
That sucks that she kind of put that kid in that situation. Now she's about to go to jail for like a long time. And I don't know if she has any money because I don't know how much she kept from.
Well, she's got a seemingly a rich hubby. And in the new pictures of her, she's giving Big Little Lies realness.
Okay. She's set. How long is she going to jail for? Not life, I presume.
I don't think so. It's 11-ish years.
Okay.
And then I think that's going to continually be reassessed.
Yeah, she's rich and white, so she'll probably get out in like 5.
Right.
I'm a fan of her rebrand because why not? She's about to go to jail. It's like why not? I don't really. I'm a fan of that type of thing.
She has nothing to lose.
She has nothing to lose. You know, it's like why not take your kid to the zoo? I'm supposed to hate on you taking your kid to the zoo and like stopping wearing turtlenecks. Come on, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that type of guy. She's mothering.
Yeah,
she's mothering. Literally, Happy Mother's Day. Who wished Liz a Happy Mother's Day?
Yeah, who wished Liz? Hopefully her child at the San Diego Zoo. Hopefully her child wished that at the San Diego Zoo.
We are listening and learning. We are so sorry we did not wish her Happy Mother's Day.
Literally, I'm tweeting at her after this. Like, a mother's a mother. A mother is a mother.
A mother is a mother at the end of the day. I don't trust Abel's rebrand.
I don't like what he's doing with the whole idol stuff where he's being really weird and romanticizing exploitation of young, pretty women.
He's the type of musical artist who has said a lot of crazy shit in his songs, but as like an artist, you're like, okay, that's just art. You know?
Right.
And then he makes a show like The Idol, and then you're like, oh no, he was telling the full truth. And that's still how he currently and actively thinks. But, you know, truthfully, I have been a huge fan of The Weeknd up until the Idol stuff. And he has been long talking about getting rid of The Weeknd and then like eventually like moving to, you know, the Abel label and stuff like the Abel label.
The Abel label.
You got to put a copyright on that. That's hard.
His record label. Could be the Able label.
His record label could be the Able label.
Yeah.
Not to give him more ideas.
Yeah,
right.
We don't need, because I'm like, I just don't understand. I mean, I get it. I guess is he going to release new music under this?
I think so.
I mean,
I hope his music's good.
His music is incredible. That's what I will say. His music is amazing.
I haven't liked an album in a minute from him.
You didn't like Dawn FM?
I think he sings in falsetto too much these days.
Right.
It's like sprinkles. It's like little sprinkles on top. Yeah. But like when that's all he's doing, I'm like, okay,
that's a big downfall.
Because I love Trilogy. I actually saw him in 2013 opening for Florence and the Machine. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Such a crazy concert.
What?
That's a crazy concert. That's insane. I tried to get my friend into The Weeknd when we were younger, and he was like, I can't do it. He sounds like a bird. He's often singing like a bird, and that's because he was singing in falsetto all the time. And I was like, I respect the hell out of that. But I love him singing in falsetto because I always love to practice. It's pretty. It's nice.
I also think he's one of those guys that's like severely allergic to cloud. Like, but he loves it. Right. It's like so delicious to him, but he's so allergic. You know, like those girls who can't stop eating cheese even though they're lactose intolerant. You know?
Yeah.
That's his vibe. Like, I think like when he was kind of quieter and just making music and like not really involved in this world, I think like he dated Bella Hadid and then everything changed.
And that's toxic for a minute because it's like, okay, you've dated Bella Hadid and you think that you can act any which way.
Right.
But no, Bella Hadid
she was doing you a favor.
She saw deeper, you know. She saw deeper.
She saw deeper. Selena Gomez too. He also dated Selena Gomez. That's I completely forgot that.
I also forgot about that.
Her
That's an insane roster.
Is so random.
Yeah, Jesus, how did that even happen? That relationship must not have. What album was inspired by Selena? Was that? I think that's his happiest. I think that was Starboy. I think it was Starboy. That was his happiest album.
Wow.
It got like really like downhill since it's like in terms of his like.
Everyone's so happy when they're dating Selena Gomez.
Yeah, that is so fucking true. Holy shit. Justin Bieber was the same way.
Selena
my
Gomez
God.
Selena Gomez, what the hell is going on?
Selena Gomez has it. And
that's
she's like one of she's the most followed person on Instagram, right?
Woman.
She most most followed, most important, most followed person. Yeah, it's like
Ronaldo, the soccer guy,
Selena, and I'm like, I knew Selena Gomez was big, and I am a Selena Gomez. I love Selena Gomez. I love everything Selena Gomez does.
She's real.
Even when I don't like her music, I love her music because it's Selena Gomez.
She's real.
But I didn't know that she was like that big.
Yeah, I didn't know she was famous like that still.
Yeah, I was like, how did that happen?
Well, she also has this like beauty brand. And I think also just even the discourse about every time people talk about Justin Bieber, she's in the conversation, even if she's not in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Is that's his most famous ex?
Well, it's the whole controversy.
Whoa.
That's like the only other person that he seriously dated in his whole career, I feel like, besides Hailey Bieber.
Which is like a weirdly arranged type situation almost.
Yeah.
That's so iconic, and I aspire to be like a Selena Gomez where you have to think of her when you think of another person.
Yeah.
But when it comes to me, I'm my own bitch.
Yeah. Nobody, I don't even know who else Selena Gomez has never dated.
Right. I guess Abel, but.
And I forgot that until we had this conversation.
And I think Nick Jonas.
Oh my God, that did happen, didn't it? That happened during the whole Disney, like when they were all like together.
I think that was right before she dated Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, she's an icon.
Yeah.
Damn, she's an icon.
And she's been like linked to Cara Delevingne supposedly.
Yes, I saw that.
Have y'all listened to Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutters album? Her and Cara Delevingne are friends, and there's like portions of the album where dogs are like barking in the background, and those are Cara Delevingne's dogs, and she's like telling them to shut up. It's a very, very like weird niche thing. It's I'm like, where the hell did that even come from? The shit that Fiona Apple's an incredible artist. That was a weird transition, but
my Bunny George in the background of my friends' albums. Because bunnies don't make noise. But he was there.
But I say fuck Abel's headline in a non-sexual way. It's more like a fuck Abel's headline.
It does unfortunately have to be sexual by the nature of this game, though.
Yeah. Would you have sex ignoring all that stuff? Like, do you guys think he's hot?
The Weeknd?
Yeah.
Not for me, no.
I've been confused about if I'm supposed, if like that's like the general vibe.
Same.
I'm like, is he supposed to be hot? Like,
I didn't.
I feel that with a lot of people. I feel like I've generally had like a weird gauge on who I'm supposed to societally be finding attractive. And I usually just go along with it. Yeah, I guess he has a good voice.
But you don't like falsetto.
Well, I like his falsetto. I just think that there's too much of it these days.
Like it's too much.
Like the songs that he was writing for like 50 Shades of Grey and shit, like never. Hot. Like that's like button. Like, you know, that's like you could. That's an instant turn on, like those songs, you know? Right. But I don't think like his aura is
his aura, his vibe is really weird. So it's like, and I've kind of always like, I've never really liked that because I've also never really wanted to see him in concert. Now that I think about it, I really like love his music, but I've never been like. Actually, I did want to see The Weeknd live, but it was purely because I wanted to know how he sounded singing all of those songs live. That was the only it wasn't because of him. It was just like, I can't fathom him singing this high. Because also I was like a musical theater major at the time. So it was like, I can't fathom him singing this high and in this like falsetto constantly over and over. Like, I can't fathom him how he does that. So it was more from like a music study perspective. For sure. But it was never because he was hot. I've never really been attracted to him. And then also in After Hours, he had that weird mustache, and I'd like dislike that.
Yeah, I think I've been on this kind of confusion since watching Uncut Gems. Julia Fox, she's so hot.
Right.
And then she like hooks up with him or whatever. But I'm like, to me, Adam Sandler is like so much sexier than The Weeknd, which is a crazy thing to say.
I see
his energy.
I see your vision. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I think if we're just stacking them up like as people in all of their different traits, it would be Adam Sandler.
Sexier than The Weeknd.
And like, I know the character is like stressful, whatever, but I'm just speaking from the actors.
Yeah. No, I think you're really correct because Adam Sandler just has an incredible vibe.
I would not fumble Adam Sandler for The Weeknd.
I also would not. It's so crazy that, and I feel like it's coming to the forefront now that like how attractive vibes are versus just how a person looks. Because I actively am like, damn, Adam Sandler is so much hotter than The Weeknd. And I feel like that wouldn't have happened 20 years ago.
I think we're also really in a heightened time of celebrities being on social media and like interacting with normal people. Right. And that usually would never happen. Like we would have no idea what their personality was like, no idea if they're like mean to waiters, etc. And now there's just like such a observing celebrity culture and like seeing what they're like. Yeah. And so we can kind of come to those judgments in a way that we couldn't before.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's like harder to be a celebrity and stay a celebrity now because you do actually have to be like somewhat likable in your day to day. Otherwise,
it's so attractive for a celebrity to not be on social media because then it's like, oh, you're
I mean, it maintains the illusion.
Yeah, you know, like you clearly got a good head about you because The Weeknd getting on social media, I feel like has just. I wasn't ever really attracted to him, but just everything he does, like it just deteriorates it. The shit he tweets so weird.
Would you rather? Let's play a game of Would You Rather.
After a video of Donald Trump dancing to a Village People cover band at Mar-a-Lago went viral last week, the 70s disco band sent a cease and desist letter to the former president. He's been using their songs YMCA and Macho Man at his events and rallies for years now, and people have been coming after the band hard for supporting Trump, even though they do not. Now they have threatened to sue him if he continues using their name or songs at his properties or events. Would you rather have someone you hate be a fan of yours and falsely implicate you in their bad behavior, or have someone you idolize publicly renounce you?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh shit, neither of these are really great, huh? Someone's gonna make me really embarrassed. I think I would rather have someone I hate like use my shit, because then I can do exactly what the Village people did and be like,
what if you couldn't though? What if you like couldn't?
Oh, but I can't. I have to. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
I think if you could, yeah, that's the easier one.
I think that's what I would do. I feel like people whose beliefs I don't align with are already like sharing my stuff. You know, like a lot of my reels and TikToks and stuff, like there'll be incels in the comments or whatever, and they'll take it the wrong way. And, you know, like I feel like the nature of social media, all of my stuff is going to get in the hands of anyone, and I already think that bad people are happen to interact with my content. So I feel like I just have to, like, for myself as someone who has to be on social media, like separate from the like people who use my content and like my I with it, unless like bad, I have to delete it. I don't know. I still,
in one scenario, I can control the fact that like I can't control what people are watching my shit or liking my shit. You know, so it's just like even if I can't denounce it, it's like whatever. For me morally, it's like there's nothing I can really do about that. But if somebody I like publicly is like, no, fuck no, like you're a piece of shit, then I'm gonna be questioning why that is.
Because that's about me. It's like, oh, now there's a narrative that I'm bad, and it's like,
and it's like, what did I do that was so wrong? You know,
I feel like those people are like the reason that I'm doing what I do, whatever, and like to have them be like, you're awful would be to have Lady Gaga tweet like, fuck at show me the yams, she sucks.
That would be heartbreaking. That would be heartbreaking.
No, that would be insane.
Could not do it.
That would be crazy.
To be truthful, there was a time where I saw Tyler the Creator at Nature Well, and that was the reason I didn't say anything to him. Was because I followed him for so long, and I've known like how he is with fan interaction and shit. And I'm like, if I fuck up or if this is weird and he tweets about me, I don't know how I'm getting back on the internet ever again. I have no idea how I will be ever be, even if he doesn't know, like he won't know me or at me. It's like if it's even like a like subdirect tweet, like, oh, this fucking weird ass dude said hey to me at like the smoothie shop, like I would be like heartbroken. So I think I would rather let people who I don't like my stuff, because there's not really anything I can do about that, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, now I'm trying to think of like an extreme, like my answer still hasn't changed, but now I'm trying to think of like an extreme scenario where like
Mike Pence is like the biggest fan of a movie you make and is like,
right, like Ron DeSantis is like, you need to watch this show that Maria is in.
Then amazing. I would start to question, okay, you know what? Actually, that's a great point, because now I'm starting to question what I'm making and why the hell he likes it. But that's all subjective. Like, that's, I don't know, because then that's also like, I still feel like the celebrity or like the idol denouncing me still feels a little more personal, you know, but like shitty people can like non-shitty things. If Ron DeSantis like likes a video where I'm like making fun of like your toxic ex, well then I guess I'm broken clock.
Maybe he's had a toxic ex, you know, like even awful people I guess can relate to things. Right. And that's kind of why movies and TV and media is just like a great way to kind of slip in there some things that maybe go over their heads, but then Ron DeSantis repost something that's literally like supporting trans people and he didn't even know.
And he didn't know. Yeah, that's another portion of things too, is like you can accidentally get people into shit and then they like didn't expect it, and then all of a sudden they've like turned. Did you see on Fox News 100 Gex? Like they posted like 100 Gex songs. They played it, and then they endorsed it, and then there was like one reporter on there who was like, "This is my favorite band right now. Like everybody needs to go out and like listen to 100
That's the most Greg Hirsch in ATN type thing to do. You know, when people post things about random strangers or anything on the internet, like there was a short window of time when you could do that and get away with it. But like now it's like they are going to see it.
That's what I kind of miss about not living in a city with a bunch of like famous people, because like I feel like we are kind of conditioned to kind of think that people will see all this shit, because when I lived in South Carolina, you could really post anything. People weren't seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe now because, you know, we have followers, but like back before that happened, it was like when we were in the middle of nowhere, you could tweet or say anything about anybody. They were not seeing that shit unless they had like, you had mutual friends, and they had to be like real close mutual friends, you know, because who's seeing like anybody else's story or even checking for that?
But Isaiah, would you rather have no matches on dating apps or be able to post about strangers freely online without them finding out?
Unfortunately, I have already made that decision, and that's why I'm in Los Angeles. I've already made that decision, and that is why I'm here, and I like it. I made the correct decision because, the life that I don't know what the fuck that was about. And to this day, I'm like, come on, what the hell happened? Because it couldn't have been. I couldn't have been that weird. Ugly. That like seriously.
You're not. You're a handsome man.
I'm like, and that's very sweet. And
you're a handsome man, and you're tall. Like, let's just say, like, a lot of women are just looking at the height on there.
The height shit, I have such a skewed view of height now because everybody literally kept saying that to me. Everybody was always like, "Oh, it'll happen because you're tall. Like you're six, like you have 6'1" in your bio. It's up there. It will definitely happen." And then for 2 years, it didn't. So I'm like, what? I'm like, this doesn't mean shit. This means shit to literally everybody except me.
I feel like I need to see this profile because I feel like I
wish I had pictures of it. I wish I had. I don't.
You never screenshotted it when you had it?
Actually, truly, I may have, but I made it. I made the first one like on my own, and I'm sure that was a garbage piece of shit. Then I gave it to my friend. I'm sure that shit was ass. I'm sure that shit was super ass. So I understand that portion of things not working. But then I gave it to my friend Bailey. You know, we went out, we like took some pictures and shit. She knows like she's doing she knows the little way around the ropes and shit. So I'm like, after we get this cracking, there's literally no way. She's like guaranteed. She's like, yeah, no, it's popping now. You got some good picks. You know, like you're gonna get at least 1 to 2. You're gonna get at least 1 to 2. And
oh my God, like the times in my life when I was the friend taking photos of my male friends for their dating apps, like we're like, today we're gonna go out, we're gonna
I had like my nice camera and I would go around and be like, there's a pretty wall. Yeah.
DSLR time.
Exactly what we did.
Yeah.
And that shit didn't work. And that shit did not work. And I was confused. And I was texting her. I'm like, yo, I don't get it. You know, is there something I need to do? She was like, this is beyond me. You know, she had to give it up to God. And that's when I knew I was fucked. That's when I knew that I was fucked. Because she couldn't do anything about that shit.
Truth or dare?
Isaiah, truth or dare?
Dare.
Okay. I dare you to, with Maria's full name, write an acrostic poem about her.
What's an acrostic poem?
Or actually, no. Do Maria and Mia just our first names?
Okay.
Acrostic poem is where you give an adjective about the person for every letter of their name.
I can definitely do that. Do I have to write it, or do I have to like just say it out loud?
Say it out loud. Yeah.
Okay.
But you can write it first to gather your thoughts if you would like.
Right. An artist at work.
Okay. Yeah.
So
let me write it
Yamini
first.
and Maria. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to think of it. I decided to do that because I wanted you to think of a Y word.
Oh, incredible. Okay. And it's about y'all. It's just adjectives about y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like how you would describe us.
Okay.
You never did this in school?
I never did this in school, but this is very exciting. This is very exciting for me. All right. Oh, this is hard. Okay. All right. M. You know what? If I write it, it's gonna be too much. M.
Too much what? Too much like what?
It's gonna be too much thinking. I'm gonna overthink it if I write it.
Right.
Holy shit! What are some M adjectives? Makeup from me.
I don't even
It's not an adjective?
I don't
It's
even
not
know
an
how
adjective?
to do it.
You do know how to do makeup. You did the Euphoria makeup and it was really good.
All I did was put elf glitter on you.
You literally did that shit like with the shit on your eyes and it was really cool. That's not an adjective? Oh shit, that's not an adjective, huh? It's gotta be an adjective.
It's an
I
guess
just
not,
words that like describe her.
I can't Google adjectives.
You can Google adjectives, sure.
I'm gonna Google adjectives. Adjectives. Oh, damn. See, I can't think of these words this quickly.
An insane dare for Isaiah.
Maybe I shouldn't have given you two names.
No, I'm gonna get.
Are
through
you
it.
Googling adjectives?
I'm Googling adjectives. Yes, I just need a list to select through. But we don't know where I'm gonna go with it.
No, we don't.
M.
I feel like I want to let you do nouns at this point because, like,
yeah.
You want to let me do nouns?
If
motherly. Motherly. And I think that's beautiful.
Okay.
Motherly.
I would always, when I was a kid, like, I would always try to, like, overachieve and I would, like, make the acrostic a sentence. Yeah.
Oh, see, I can't do all that.
So I'd be like, motherly and...
Ooh.
But...
Aesthetical. Aesthetical?
Not a word. That's not a word, but that's so amazing. I know what you're trying to say.
Ready.
Because I'm next.
You know what they say about Maria? She's
ready.
Because you're next up.
She's ready.
So we got motherly,
aesthetical,
ready, iconical.
You can just say iconic.
Well, I can't do nouns.
Well,
iconic is an adjective.
I don't know how that shit works. I don't know how English works. You can't, y'all. I don't know about all this, y'all. I don't know iconical. Iconical. And ageless. Let's go.
Wait,
we're going with Yamini.
Like, can we just now repeat them all like in order?
Yeah.
We got motherly, aesthetical, ready, iconical. I'm keeping iconical. Motherly, aesthetical, ready, iconical, ageless.
That's
Maria.
That's
Maria.
Literally everyone's been saying that about me, so it's so crazy that you did.
Yeah. That's I know. It's like how do I even come up with it? All right, for Yamini. Youthful.
Ageless.
It's just me and Yamini are the same. Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Those are two different words. Those are two different words, actually. So they can't be the same. Yep, that's the truth. Youthful. Authentic.
Real.
Authentic.
Real. That's a good one.
Authentic.
That is
not authentical.
A lot of y'all have a lot of the same letters. magical. Youthful, authentic, magical. Damn, I gotta start reading some more books. Crazy.
This is hilarious. I did not expect this to be so challenging.
Me neither. How do you
Insightful.
form sentences?
I don't know.
You just
Insightful.
you don't look up words when you talk. I don't know how you.
In the moment of I need to come up with these letters, these words that are directed to letters. I can't think of it. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of it. I know these words separately, but not while I'm not in the moment. Okay, so where am I at? Youthful, ageless.
No, authentic. No. Maria's ageless.
Youthful, authentic. There's a lot of A's. There's a lot of A's and M's, y'all. Youthful, authentic, magical. Youthful, authentic, magical, insightful. Noble. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We're almost there.
Yep. Going back to look at the eyes.
Inclined. Youthful.
Authentic.
Youthful, authentic. Magical.
Insightful.
Natural. Noble.
Nope, you said nope.
Noble. Nope.
Yeah,
noble is what I want.
I'm makeup and you're natural.
These aren't y'all words. These are my words. This is my poem.
That's so
this is my
real.
poem.
That's
This
so
from my heart. This from my heart. And Google.
Okay.
Noble. And what did I just say?
Inclined.
For Maria, it was
motherly,
ageless, ready,
motherly, authentic, or aesthetical.
Right, yes.
Motherly, aesthetical, ready, iconical.
Ageless.
I'm changing my bio to that. All of my bios across all platforms will be.
How does he do it?
Those words.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it back at you, Isaiah.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Right.
Inspiring.
Oh, wow.
Sparkling.
Oh.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Innovative.
True.
Alluring.
Absolutely.
And handsome.
Oh,
yes.
Needed this after the Tinder talk today. Needed this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's so sweet. Okay. Truth or dare?
Dare.
Let's sing the chorus of Leave the Door Open. And you sing the chorus of Leave the Door Open, and I'm gonna harmonize with you virtually.
Okay, I have to go look at the lyrics.
Or Smoking Out the Window.
Wow, you're really feeling
I was listening to Silk Sonic last night.
A Silk Sonic moment, yeah.
I was listening to Silk Sonic last night.
I don't know if I know the melodies piece by the whole. I only know the lyric with the title line.
I'm gonna leave the door open. We can just be that title line.
Okay.
What song do you know? What songs do you know?
I know a lot of songs, but just not on that Silk Sonic grind the way you are, I think.
Okay, name a song that you know, and if I know it, I'll harmonize with it. Karaoke song.
Ooh.
What's your go-to karaoke?
Usually Paparazzi.
Okay, let's do it.
Real.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me. Paparazzi. Baby, there's no other superstar. You know that I'll be your paparazzi. Promise I'll be kind, but I won't stop until that boy is mine. Baby, you'll be famous, chase you down until you love me. Paparazzi.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Chills. Full body
music.
Chills right now. I need a moment.
Wow.
A moment.
Incredible. That was beautiful. I love doing
Thank
that.
you for singing with me.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me.
Truth or dare, Maria?
Truth.
Okay, what is a trait in a partner or a friend that might be like a turn on or a pro for someone else, but to you is like really a turn off?
This. If I speak, it's I just like, I don't know if this is I'm gonna say it because I feel like it'll do fine.
Live your truth, truth, queen.
I live my truth. So, usually a answer that people give is like, what do you like in someone? And someone's like, I want someone funny. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be funny. And it's like, obviously I don't want someone to be unfunny. But whenever I've tried dating people in the past who like would characterize themselves as funny, male comedians, such, I don't know if I can date a comedian.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. And so I think that can't be in their big 3 of adjectives.
Yeah.
Is funny.
Okay.
It has to be maybe in their big 6. Maybe the 6th is like, oh, they're funny. They have a good sense of humor. But it can't be in their big 3. Whereas I feel like that's an unpopular opinion. But I feel like maybe my explanation makes it make more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it does. I feel that, actually. I think
it's also really nice to have someone who's like pleasant surprise funny rather than someone who's like, I'm funny.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
I feel that.
Because I'm always cracking jokes. So it's like, I specifically dating men who think that they're funny are more conservative with their laughter when you're funny. And I can't have that. Like, we have to be roarously laughing at my jokes too. Like, let's set the record straight. I'm also
like, you can't
silly,
be the only funny one in the relationship. Like,
right.
Or they can't think that. They can't think that.
So I'm not out there looking for funny. I find it I find it. I don't look for it.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
a good one.
My boyfriend is fully across the room.
He's like, hey.
He fully has been literally recording this entire conversation the moment I started, and I've discussed this with him, and he knows what I mean. He knows what I mean by this. So
yeah. No, I get it too.
He's fine.
Yeah. He's like, I'm fine.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm fine.
No,
Next time
he's
he tells
funny.
a joke, he's like, so are you laughing on purpose or?
No.
Was this not funny enough for you?
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I get it. I get that.
Yeah. All right, Yamini. Truth or dare?
I'll go with the truth.
Who is there someone who? So when like you post an Instagram story, and is there someone or multiple people right now that you're looking for in your story views at this current moment?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like I'm actually looking for a few people.
That's a good place to be in. That is the best place to be in. Either looking for no one or multiple, like a small little group.
I think it also depends on the kind of story, right? Like, there's, when I post like an adorable picture of chorizo, there's some like chorizo stand, so I'm like, you better be replying to this. You better be.
Right.
You better be being like, oh my god, cutest dog ever vibes.
Absolutely.
Then there's like the thirst trap people that I look for.
Right.
And there's like the funny video people that I look for.
Yes.
I was really in an era of extreme celibacy. I don't know if we've talked about this, but I was really in an era of extreme celibacy accidentally. I was in my incel era. And I'm recently out of it. And
amazing.
It's, you know, it's been good, except now I'm catching strays. I haven't had like 4 crushes at a time since college, you know, but I'm at that place right now. So
that's so beautiful. It's like you either have to be in a loving relationship or have multiple crushes. Everything else feels like shit.
Everything else,
having one crush is like actually the most gut-wrenching,
nightmare,
awful thing ever. I don't think it's like healthy for me to have one crush. Like, I don't think that's good for me in any way.
You gotta have the multiple. You gotta have the balance. You gotta have the balance. Options. Everybody likes options. Everybody likes options.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think it's like a little bit, it's definitely kid in a candy store vibes, but.
It's the way it's gotta be. It's the way it should be.
Youthful,
authentic, and
it's magical,
insightful,
and it's insightful.
And to top it all off, inclined. Don't know what you're inclined to do, but you're inclined.
That shit is beautiful.
I'm inclined when I walk on the treadmill.
Me doing my 12-3-30, yeah.
That's legit. That's legit. See, I knew Streets would understand. Streets would understand that.
He's acting like he planned that. Good for you. Good for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was such a blast to have you. Where can my listeners find you, keep up? What do you got going on, etc.?
I mean, you can find me by typing in my first and last name with the hyphen, the like underscore in like a different place, and just keep trying that. Cause I can't get the name without the underscore yet. I'm not famous enough. So but Maria Smal, it'll show up.
Some bitch has it.
Like, how? You know what I mean? Like, and you look and it's like, okay, do we need this? Like, I'm like,
whenever I get like a new app, I always get like at Yamini, but anything that's been around for a while, like I get on it too late, I can't be at Yamini.
Yeah,
I know. One day, but you'll search a Maria Smal with 1 L and you'll find it. And I am, I'm an actor, so you'll see me in some of the stuff me and Isaiah have been cooking up. And hopefully one day you won't see me on social media. You just have to, see me around.
Right. See me around. Oh, okay.
Motherly.
Aesthetical.
Ready.
Iconical
and ageless.
I'm so happy y'all remember that shit because I certainly don't. I forgot that shit so quickly.
It's going on my tombstone. So
as you were saying it,
yep.
You can find me at Zay Dante with 1 Y on Instagram. You can find me at Zay Dante with 2 Ys on YouTube and TikTok and Twitch. Everything else is 2 Ys except for now that I'm saying, and that's the first time I'm realizing that out loud. So maybe I should just change that. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, but I like the 1 Y. I don't know. Well, I'll probably just keep it.
That was your rebrand, just like Elon and Abel and Liz. You recently had a rebrand.
Whoa, lots of rebranding happening. You know what I'm saying? And rebrand. That's what I was like. Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like, my rebrand is of the marriage kind. So I appreciate that. You can find me on all of those. And yes, I am an actor. So we will be doing some stuff. Me and Maria got some stuff cooking soon. Until then, I'll just be posting content. So if you want to laugh, then maybe go to somebody else's page.
You little jokester.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Too much. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to check out Isaiah and Maria's podcast and socials, as well as mine. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this feed so you never miss an episode of Pillow Fight ever again. Chat soon. Bye.